the real reason humans started wearing clothes in extreme environments. Humans weren't built to survive the cold, we weren't built for deserts, we weren't even built for half this planet. So how did we conquer it all? With one simple invention: clothing. The story begins not with clothing, but without it. For hundreds of thousands of years, early humans lived completely naked. Unlike other animals, they had already lost most of their body hair, evolving to survive in the hot African savanna through sweating and heat regulation. But then, something changed. The environment changed. The climate shifted. And survival demanded something new. Clothing was not born from fashion. It was born from necessity. As humans migrated into Europe, Asia, and beyond, they encountered extreme environments that their bodies were not naturally equipped to handle. Cold temperatures, icy winds, and seasonal changes created conditions that could quickly become fatal. Unlike animals that evolved fur or thick skin, humans had to adapt in a different way. They invented protection. Clothing became humanity's second skin. Using animal hides, early humans created crude coverings that insulated the body, trapping heat and shielding them from the cold. These garments allowed them to survive freezing nights, harsh winds, and unpredictable weather conditions. Without clothing, this migration would have been impossible. Entire regions of the world would have remained inaccessible. Clothing did not just protect humans, it expanded their world. The need for clothing became even more urgent during the Ice Age. As temperatures dropped across the planet, survival without protection became nearly impossible. Early humans faced sub-zero temperatures, snow-covered landscapes, limited food sources, constant exposure to wind and cold. In response, they began to refine their methods. Animal skins were no longer simply draped over the body. They were cleaned, scraped, and softened using stone tools. Fat and tissue were removed, making the hides more flexible and durable. Over time, humans developed the ability to shape these materials into garments that fit the body more effectively. The invention of bone needles marked a major technological breakthrough. With these tools, humans could stitch pieces of hide together, creating tailored clothing that provided better insulation and mobility. This was no longer simple covering. This was engineering. While cold climates were a major driver of clothing, they were not the only reason. In extreme environments, clothing served multiple purposes. In hot regions, it protected the skin from intense sunlight and harmful radiation. In dense forests and rugged landscapes, it acted as a barrier against sharp plants, rocks, and insects. Clothing also provided protection from rain, dust, and wind, helping to regulate body temperature in a variety of conditions. In essence, clothing became a shield, a protective layer between the human body and the natural world. It allowed humans to survive not just in one environment, but in many. Clothing was not simply discovered, it was invented. Early humans developed a range of techniques and tools to create garments. At first, materials were basic: animal hides, leaves, and grasses. These were wrapped or tied around the body using natural fibers. But as knowledge grew, so did complexity. Stone tools were used to scrape and prepare hides. Sinew, strong fibers taken from animal tendons, served as thread. Bone needles allowed for stitching, transforming flat pieces of material into shaped garments. This marked the beginning of textile technology. Over time, humans learned to process plant fibers, eventually leading to the creation of woven fabrics. This transition from animal hides to textiles represented a major step forward, making clothing lighter, more flexible, and easier to produce. Clothing was no longer just about survival, it was becoming a craft. Clothing played a critical role in one of humanity's greatest achievements: global expansion. Without it, humans would have remained limited to warm climates. With it, they were able to explore and settle in diverse environments, from frozen tundras to high mountains. Clothing allowed humans to adapt quickly to new conditions, access new resources, survive in previously uninhabitable regions. It became one of the key technologies that enabled humans to dominate the planet. Unlike biological evolution, which takes thousands of years, clothing provided an immediate solution. Humans could adapt instantly. At first, clothing served only one purpose: survival. But as societies developed, its role began to change. Humans started to decorate their garments, using dyes, patterns, and ornaments. Clothing became a way to express identity, status, and culture. Different groups developed unique styles, reflecting their environment, beliefs, and traditions. What began as protection evolved into communication. Clothing began to tell a story, not just about survival, but about who people were. As human civilization advanced, so did clothing technology. In early agricultural societies, people began to cultivate plants like flax and cotton, spinning fibers into thread and weaving them into fabric. This marked the beginning of the textile industry. In ancient civilizations, clothing became more structured and refined. Techniques such as dyeing, tailoring, and embroidery emerged, adding both functionality and beauty. During the medieval period, clothing reflected social hierarchy. Materials, colors, and designs indicated wealth and status. Technology improved, allowing for more complex garments. The Industrial Revolution brought another major transformation. Machines replaced manual labor, enabling mass production of textiles. Clothing became more accessible and affordable, reaching a wider population. In the modern era, synthetic materials such as polyester and nylon were developed, offering durability and versatility. Today, advanced fabrics can regulate temperature, repel water, and even protect against extreme conditions. From animal hides to high-tech materials, clothing has undergone a remarkable evolution. One of the most important aspects of clothing is its role as an adaptive technology, one of the earliest and most powerful tools humans ever created. Unlike many animals, humans are not naturally equipped to survive extreme environments. They do not have thick fur to protect them from freezing temperatures, nor do they possess tough skin capable of withstanding harsh terrain or intense heat. Instead, humans evolved with relatively fragile bodies, relying on intelligence rather than biology to overcome environmental challenges. Subscribe for stories that reveal the real reason behind everything.